Hello everybody, it's DC from the DC Life channel. Can you believe it? It's part 4 of Should We Restore the SnyderVerse, playing Devil's Advocate. If you haven't checked out parts 1 through 3, I have links for you up here and in the description down below. And look, the like button is right along there with the subscribe button. So give me a big old thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell icon for notifications. Alright, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the video. So whose fault is it? How did we get to this point with the DCEU? I want to kind of, in some ways, know how did we go from Man of Steel and hearing stories about Zack Snyder wanting to do a sequel to Man of Steel before he moves on to Justice League or whatever. How did it go from Man of Steel to Batman v Superman? It's a great idea, but it's a rushed idea. We don't know who this Batman is. We barely know who this Superman is. And then you have to have him fight Batman. And you have to explain why in this one movie. Because you have to kind of introduce Wonder Woman as well and the rest of the Justice League. Doomsday. What a waste of a character. You have a character who can go toe-to-toe with Superman. And you introduce him like literally... like what, 15 minutes at the end of, like the last 15 minutes of Batman v Superman. And then Superman died. What is going on? So you can tell that this is a rushed decision. Some of the movie reviewers were saying that Snyder Cut is unwatchable. It's 4 hours long. It's too long of a movie. Everyone knows it's too long of a movie. You have all these things that need to be accomplished within one movie. You've got Cyborg, Aquaman, and Flash to introduce. 3 characters that you have to introduce and make us believe that they should be part of the Justice League. We haven't even gotten over the fact that Superman died, and now we have to deal with him resurrected. But again, it's poor execution. And how much of this poor execution is the fault of the studios rushing Zack Snyder, and how much of it is just, this is how Zack Snyder tells stories. Great job for staying with me all the way to part 4. What do you think about this video? Do you think that the DCEU is where it's at because WB has been rushing trying to catch up with the MCU? Or do you think that this is what Zack Snyder struggles with in his storytelling? Be nice and give me a big old thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell icon for notifications. Let's get back into the video. They are fighting amongst themselves and the rest of the world sees it. When you have the Snyder Cut being released on HBO Max because AT&T made you do it, and it's one of the reasons why we want to draw people to your streaming service, and you don't promote it, it speaks of just how unprofessional you are as an executive. It shows that you are playing tit for tat and you're just being spiteful, and it's not a good look. And that you are not listening. This is not going to work for you. It's not working right now. Pay attention. It's not working for you. We need a universe. We need a cohesive universe. We need a universe that makes sense. Establish your Justice League characters. But let us get to know these characters. If we don't know these characters, we won't support them. If we don't know these characters, when they die, it's not going to do anything. I think the decision to make these random movies need to stop. Or we're gonna do Shazam. Nothing against Shazam. You haven't established Superman, you haven't established Batman, you haven't established Wonder Woman, Aquaman, so on and so forth. So don't have a Shazam movie. Sorry, don't have a Black Adam movie. If you make a Shazam movie, you should have a Black Adam movie. Those two are cohesive and they make sense, yes. But do we need those movies right now when your Superman doesn't work, when your Batman doesn't work, and so on and so forth? Why are you making a Batgirl movie? Why were there talks about the new gods when you can't handle the old gods? These random movies of random characters, Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, and the Atom, and so on and so forth. All this needs to stop and just give us the characters that will establish this universe. And then you can have your Hunters and your Birds of Prey and your Suicide Squad, which is a great idea. I think that once you establish these characters and the world loves them, but the government doesn't trust them, and that's why we need a we need a Suicide Squad. That's a great idea. Multiverse is a great idea, but you can't have multiple Supermans where we don't know one of them. And if you introduce 3 or 5 Batman, and Batgirl's also Batman, Superman is kind of Supergirl, and so on and so forth, you are confusing the general population, you are annoying the hardcore fans, and then you have nobody to watch your movie. And MCU will continue to succeed, and you are failing, essentially. It's messy, and it's not cohesive, and that's why it doesn't work. I think the DCEU needs a Kevin Feige.
How dare you?
I don't think that the DCEU needs to take the approach of the MCU, but it needs someone to lead the franchise.
Well, you do seem like you're in desperate need of leadership.
Why, thank you.
It needs someone to keep every creator within the story, within the journey of the story that leads to Justice League. I think you need to understand that Justice League is kind of like a chapter arc. You know, it's kind of like these different characters' movies should lead towards a Justice League to tell an epic story. It's kind of like what MCU is doing with the Avengers.
How dare you?
And it's not to say that you need to follow it directly. I mean, you already established that you're going to be a more serious take, a darker take, and that's fine. Research, decide on someone, get someone who really knows comics, who loves comics, kind of like Kevin Feige does.
How dare you?
And understands fandom. And allow this person to basically make big decisions. So what do I think? Should we restore the SnyderVerse? I think yes. I think at the end of the day, Zack Snyder shows that he does care about these characters. Despite the fact of how Warner Brothers treated him with this whole situation, he still wants to come back and tell stories about these characters. I think that's a great character trait. A happy medium. It should be his vision. It should look like how he wants it to be. It should kind of tell the story that he wants to tell, but he kind of needs to not execute poorly. He needs to execute his ideas a little better. And sometimes I wonder if his ideas are not executed correctly because he's rushed by the studio. I say let the guy tell his stories, but at the same time, I also think that he should listen and adapt. I think that he really did adapt in the Snyder Cut. You can tell that he brought in a good level of levity. I think it was different enough from the MCU. There was levity, but it wasn't to the point of like jokes, right? So I think that it worked. And he has amazing visuals, so his movies are always going to look amazing. He gets the tone of the characters about right. And I think that he just needs to pivot a little bit with each one of them. Give them some diverse emotions. He respects these characters. You can tell he loves these characters. So Zack Snyder needs to be reined in a little bit. And I think the studio also needs to let these creatives do their jobs. And I think that if you understand that you have these great properties in your hands and you can take advantage of it, you can be as big as Disney or bigger. Can you give yourself a round of applause for staying with me all the way to the end of part 4? You must have lots to share, so join the discussion. What have you concluded? Do you think that we should restore the SnyderVerse, or should we just start all over? Or do you think that Zack Snyder has shown in his version of Justice League that he has grown and matured to be the man to continue the DCEU? I would really appreciate it if you could click on the thumbs up icon, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell icon in support of this channel to grow and continue to bring you awesome content in the future. Again, check out dclife.com for more information about me and the channel, and I hope you do see me working really hard chasing after what I love in hopes to inspire you to do the same. Remember, life's too short, live it fully. I'll see you in the next video. Hey everybody, this is DC from the... Hey everybody... I'm gonna kill those dogs, I am. Oh my gosh. Now you're in the video.